In 1922, one director captured what would become the most terrifying portrayal of a vampire on screen, and more than 100 years later, it's still frightening audiences to this day. From director F.W. Murnau and Prana Film, this is 1922's Nosferatu, and you can watch it for free on the new free streaming app Mometu. Nosferatu stars Gustav von Wangenheim as Thomas Hutter, a real estate agent tasked with selling the mysterious Count Orlok a home in Germany. But Hutter notices there's something off about Orlok, and pretty soon the horrifying truth comes to light. Count Orlok is actually a vampire. If this plot sounds familiar, that's because it's almost exactly the same story as what Bram Stoker published in his 1897 novel Dracula. Though there are some key differences. The characters' names in the film have been changed from those in Stoker's book, as has the setting, which was moved from 1890s England to 1838 Germany. Also, the manner in which the vampire is destroyed is wholly unique. Spoiler alert, Orlok is turned to dust when exposed to sunlight. This concept was original to Murnau's film, but has since become a common trope of vampire lore. Murnau knew that in borrowing so heavily from Dracula, he'd be sued by Stoker's estate, hence the subtle changes to the names and locations in his film. But in other ways, he didn't even try to hide his brazenness. Soon after the film's premiere in Berlin, Stoker's widow, Florence, received an anonymous package in the mail. Inside, she found a poster for Nosferatu, and emblazoned across it was the line, "Freely adapted from Bram Stoker's Dracula." Unfortunately, there wasn't much to be done in terms of copyright infringement or damages. Prana, which had initially planned to make a number of occult-themed films, had already gone bankrupt. Instead, Florence went after the film itself and sought to have every print of it destroyed. A German court agreed with her in 1925 and issued an order that every single copy of Nosferatu be burned. Well, the film had already made its way across the pond to the United States and was still being shown in the UK. As a result, it was saved from being lost forever, despite Florence's best efforts to eliminate all remaining prints. The starring role of the film, Count Orlok, was played by German actor Max Schreck. Schreck gained some notoriety following the film's release. For one, American publications didn't believe Schreck was the actor's last name, since the word Schreck is also the German word for terror. It just seemed a bit too on the nose, and they assumed that it was actually a well-known German actor under all that makeup. In 1953, Greek film critic Edo Kairu didn't know who was playing Orlok at all. He wrote in his review, quote, "Who hides behind the character of Nosferatu? Maybe Nosferatu himself?" This led to an urban legend that Schreck was, in fact, a vampire, an idea that was eventually explored in 2000's fictional biopic Shadow of the Vampire, starring John Malkovich as Murnau and Willem Dafoe as Schreck. And so here it is, starring Max Schreck, Gustav von Wangenheim, and Greta Schroeder. From F.W. Murnau, this is 1922's Nosferatu, now playing for free on Mometu.